Welcome to Firefighting in Canada this week. I'm Jayson Koblun, and today's edition is brought to you by VFIS of Canada, a division of CVIS Incorporated, Canada's largest insurer of firefighters. This week, Sarnia, Ontario names a new fire chief. Then, Whitehorse, Yukon hosts annual fire-focused military exercise. And finally, tune in this Monday and listen to Firefighting in Canada's latest podcast. Brian Arnold is taking over as Sarnia, Ontario's fire chief on June 10th and will be replacing John Kinyans, who announced his retirement earlier this year. CBC News reported Arnold has been deputy chief in Cambridge for 4 years after serving in the same job in Woodstock. Prior to that, he was a fire training instructor in London and began his career as a firefighter in Toronto. Arnold grew up in the Toronto area, but told CBC News he has relatives in the area and is very familiar with the community he's set to begin serving. He holds a master's degree in public administration from Western University and serves on a number of emergency service committees. Sarnia CAO Chris Carter said in a news release the City of Sarnia would like to welcome Arnold to the team and is looking forward to his contribution to Sarnia Fire Rescue Services. With the busy wildfire season forecast for the Yukon, government emergency officials gathered in Whitehorse and Teslin for this year's edition of Operation Nanook, with an emphasis on fire. Operation Nanook is an annual military exercise of the Canadian Armed Forces in the Arctic. The exercise is intended to train the different elements of the Canadian Armed Forces in disaster training in the Canadian Arctic and Northern Canada. Mike Dine, chief of the Whitehorse Fire Department, said one of the exercises will help firefighters look out for wood piles or trees too close to homes, which put them at greater risk from interface fires, wildfires that come into contact with urban areas. Operation Nanook typically takes place in August or September, but the Yukon government asked to move it to late spring in order to give crews a chance to practice for the coming wildfire season. Firefighting in Canada, the podcast, is releasing another episode on Monday, June 3rd, titled Drones in the Fire Service. Hope BC Fire Chief Tom DeSourcy speaks with Scott Wilkinson, Senior Academy Officer at the Training Academy at the Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Service, about how the department is using unmanned aerial vehicles, or drones, to augment firefighting efforts. Scott provides an overview of the benefits of using drones to help incident commanders at fire scenes. He also explains how a department can get started, where to purchase equipment, and the type of training that's needed. The WFPS now has 18 trained pilots across 4 shifts, as well as several trained visual observers to assist the pilots. Tune in on Monday to catch it. This is Annex Business Media's Niche TV. Thanks again to VFIS of Canada, a division of CVIS Incorporated, Canada's largest insurer of firefighters. Stay tuned for our next episode on Friday, June 7th.